mismatching, and then for other chromosomal disorders. And after all this, the one normal embryo was transplanted back into the uterus. Next slide, please. So with this, the bone marrow transplantation has happened in the month of February. The son, and Mr. Solanki will again take you as to what has happened to the son, but he is practically free of transfusions today. And we are very happy that we have been able to achieve this, a first for our country. And if you look at the global scenario, only a few thousand such babies have been born. So this is a relatively new technique, very successful and highly rewarding for such patients who have no other options. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Banker, for sharing such insightful details around this one-of-its-kind case. Now I would request Dr. Deepa to take us through her experience on the successful completion of the bone marrow transplant of the affected sibling. Over to you now, Dr. Deepa.
Can you play those slides I sent you?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. So good afternoon, everybody. We go to the next slide. So HLA, as sir had very nicely described what is thalassemia and what is transplant, and HLA matched transplant is the best option for a long-term good quality of life and cure for children with thalassemia. So this child was seen in an OPD. Again, as sir said, it is a very incredible set of parents. They had taken very good care of Abhijit. They were giving him regular transfusions. So he was very fit for a transplant, like his liver and spleen was okay. His ferritin iron overload was not very high. So that was a good thing for us. The baby was already born. The donor was ready for us. We were just waiting for her to gain some weight. So that happened. And we prepared her for transplant just like we prepare other donors. We made sure she was having good iron, good ferritin, and good nutrition. And once we took her for transplant, we were successful. Then the transplant was success. And he has engrafted well. He's transfusion independent. He's on a cyclosporin, which is an immunosuppressant, but on the tapering dose. And he's doing well at home now, no signs and symptoms of GVHD. So I think sir has already spoken that thalassemia and related hemoglobin disorders are now considered the biggest non-communicable disease. We do have diseases. We have dengue, we have malaria and other diseases. But if you look at non-communicable diseases, thalassemia is one of the biggest burdens. Under 5 mortality is 77 times more than a normal population. Next slide. So as sir again has said, we will not go over it. Prevention is always better than cure. We request, or in this way, we encourage all the families to go for a thalassemia test. It's non-expensive, and we can prevent a thalassemic birth rather than have to go through all this loops and jumps to get to a cure for thalassemia. Next. So as sir had again said, 1 to 1.5 lakh children are out there in the community with thalassemia major, requiring transfusions every month. Numbers we don't even know. The numbers, these are documented numbers. As WHO says, only 15% get the proper blood requirement. As you know, now there is a lot of blood shortage. Blood requirements are more, but there are not enough donors. So you can't keep everybody alive properly. 39% only get good chelation, so they get iron overload. So that's another problem. On the opposite, if we say that we don't want transplants and don't want anything to happen, we cannot still keep everybody alive well with a good quality of life. Next. As you can see, almost we spend 1 lakh per year for each child that lives like this with thalassemia for several years. So even then, a cost-effective option is bone marrow transplant. The average lifespan of a thalassemic who is not transplanted is about 26 to maybe 35 years before they get iron overload and they pass away. Though BMT has its own costs, its risks, its complications, but still, if you look at the quality of life, if they get better after a transplant, they do much better than going through transfusions for the rest of their lives. Next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deepa. You truly are a superhero giving alien kids a chance at life. Now I would like to request Mr. Solanki to share his journey as a father who went many extra miles to save his young son. Sir, request you to share a few words of your journey.
जैसे सर ने बताया और मैडम ने बात की कि जो थैलेसीमिया है उसके बारे में, बीमारी के बारे में बात कर लिया, और उसका जो पॉसिबल क्योर है बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट। तो अभी हमारी कंडीशन ये थी, मेरी फैमिली की मैं बात करूँ तो मेरी जो बड़ी बेटी है नम्रता, उसका मैच अभिजीत से था नहीं। तो अब वी आर सर्चिंग फॉर अ सिबलिंग मैच, जो एक पॉसिबल बेस्ट वे होता है बीएमटी के लिए। और उसी के लिए मैंने देखा कि फॉरेन में ये ट्रीटमेंट हो चुका था कि आप थ्रू आईवीएफ, विद हेल्प ऑफ आईवीएफ, इन विट्रो फर्टिलाइजेशन, आप ऐसा बेबी अरेंज कर सकते हो कि वो जेनेटिकली एचएलए मैच करता हो पेशेंट बच्चे से। तो उसी के लिए मैंने सर से अप्रोच किया। फिर जैसे सर ने बताया हमारी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई, पर वो आईवीएफ के थ्रू एचएलए मैच बेबी मैनेज करना 50% था हमारी जो पूरी लड़ाई थी उसका। और आधी लड़ाई जो थी वो अभी हमने रिसेंटली डॉक्टर दीपा मैडम के साथ में रह के लड़ी, और उसमें भी हम काफ़ी हद तक अभी सक्सेसफुल हो चुके हैं। 6 मंथ हो चुका है और लास्ट 6 मंथ से उसको ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन नहीं हुआ है। तो इट्स प्रोबेबली मोर देन 85 to 90% इट इज सक्सेसफुल बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट। दीपा मैडम है, बाकी तो ज़्यादा कुछ डिटेल हो तो बताने के लिए। और जहाँ तक एज ए फैमिली हमारी इन सब सिचुएशन कंडीशन से निकलने की बात है, तो पिछले 7 साल से, मतलब कि 2013 में जब अभिजीत का बर्थ हुआ और नवंबर 13 में जब उसका ये डिटेक्ट हुआ कि उसको थैलेमेजर है, उसके बाद से लेकर अभी तक की, क्योंकि अभी पिछले 6-8 महीने से कोरोना वाली सिचुएशन चल रही है, तो काफ़ी स्ट्रगल रहा है हमारा, फाइनेंशियली भी रहा, सोशल लेवल पे रहा, पर्सनल लेवल पे भी रहा। पर एज ए फैमिली हमने सब अरेंज किया और डॉक्टर सर वगैरह सब ने सपोर्ट किया, तो होपफुली हम उससे निकल पाए और यहाँ तक आ गए। होपफुली आगे भी ऐसे ही चलता रहेगा। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Mr. Solanki. Now I would like to open the floor for any questions the audience may have. As mentioned earlier, please do utilize the chat box to raise hands so that we can unmute you and you may ask any queries that you have. So to begin with, Ranjani had a question which will be directed to Dr. Banker. So Dr. Banker, Ranjani's questions are, what are the criteria for embryo to be selected? What is IVF cycle? What is HLA typing? And how old was he and the donor when the BMT was done? Over to you now, Dr. Banker.
So IVF is the process which is called in vitro fertilization, where we take the eggs and the sperms of the husband and the wife and we create an embryo in the lab. For doing this type of testing, we need the embryo to grow for a period of 5 days, which is called blastocyst. And once the embryo reaches at this stage, we remove a few cells from the embryos and we send that for testing. Now, in such a case, we need tests for multiple things. First is to see that that embryo does not have thalassemia major. Second is to look at HLA, which is a human leukocyte antigen. It is a match to see whether when you transplant tissues or organs from one person to another person, whether it is a kidney, liver, or even a bone marrow, whether the other body will accept it or not. And if there is no good match, the recipient body will reject this. So then we had to test the embryo for a HLA match. And then we tested whether there was any other chromosomal problem also, because we don't want the pregnancy to end up with an abortion because of any other complication. So after all the 3 screenings, we transferred the embryos. And once the child is born, as Dr. Deepa had mentioned, we need to allow the child to grow because we have to remove the bone marrow from that child. So we allowed the child to grow for a period of 1 year to be sure that the child has adequate weight, is of a good medical status to donate the bone marrow, and then the bone marrow transplantation was done.
Thank you, Dr. Banker. Hope that answers your questions, Ranjani. The next question that we have is, what was the cost for the entire process put together?
I think everything put together for the IVF cycle, it was around, I think Mr. Solanki will be able to give you a better idea because he...
For IVF and all genetic report testing, PGD, PGS and pre-PGD workup and all that, it includes around cost 9 to 9.5 lakhs. and for bone marrow transplant, it takes 9 lakh. Very reasonable cost compared to other centers.
Thank you. The next question that is here is from Shachi Sutaria. What are the ethical concerns surrounding PGD implantations?
Sorry, what are the?
What are the ethical concerns surrounding PGD implantation?
So actually, see, PGD is the older terminology. Now it is called PGTM, which means pre-implantation genetic testing for monogenic disorders. So this is a technique which we are doing only to test for specific disorders and to have a child who is disease-free. So this is both ethical as well as legal, because we are only doing this to select a child which does not have the disease which was present in either or both of the parents. So we are trying to create a child that is free of that particular disease.
Thank you. Shobita, hope this answered your question as well. The next question that we have is from Sayantani Dey. What is the cost-benefit ratio if both parents who have thalassemia go for an IVF plus PGD child vis-a-vis this process?
So I think this, see, first of all, if you want a thalassemia-free child, you have two options. One is to do IVF with PGT testing and transfer an embryo without the disease. Second option is to have a natural pregnancy and then test the pregnancy whether the pregnancy is disease-free or not. This will obviously be a cheaper option, but then the only treatment is to terminate the pregnancy. So it is a far more traumatic experience for the couple. Second, here we have done one step further. The aim was not only to have a child which is disease-free, but a child who is also a HLMH for a previously affected child. Now, if the couple do not have a previously affected child, and the only purpose is to have a disease-free child, the treatment is far less expensive, because then you don't need to do the HLA matching and the bone marrow transplantation. You are only creating a child which does not have thalassemia major, and here the cost of the treatment would not be more than a couple of lakhs.
Thank you, Dr. Banker. The next question that we have is, would this procedure mean that the girl child will not even have a recessive gene that could manifest in the next generation?
Dr. Deepa, would you like to take this?
Yes. So as you can know, we have option either the fetus, the baby girl can have no thalassemia gene, she can have a minor gene. If she has minor, she will have a risk of transmitting or to the next generation. So it's possible, but she will live a normal life.
Thank you, Dr. Deepa. The next question that we have is, are there any financial support resources for people who cannot afford these expenses?
I think I will ask Mr. Solanki because he has done extensive work in this field.
Sure.
एक्चुअली सीधा तो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंट कुछ नहीं था. हाँ, जिनके पास अगर लोअर इनकम ग्रुप का कोई पेशेंट होता है तो उसके लिए एनजीओज वगैरह होते हैं तो वो एफर्ट करते हैं. पर जैसा मैंने बताया कि जो मेरा बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ, संकल्प इंडिया फाउंडेशन का जो प्रोग्राम चल रहा है नेशनल लेवल पे, उनके जरिए हुआ. और उनका जो सिम्स अहमदाबाद है, वहाँ पे जो उनका बोन मैरो ट्रांसप्लांट सेंटर है, वहाँ पे हुआ. तो जो वहाँ कॉस्ट लगा 9 लाख, वो कंसेशन रेट पे था. दूसरे कंपैरिजन हम करने जाए प्राइवेट लैब्स यहाँ, और जैसे कि वेल्लोर क्रिश्चियन मेडिकल कॉलेज है, वहाँ वो एक बड़ा अच्छा सेंटर है, वहाँ भी मिनिमम कॉस्ट 15 लाख है फॉर अ सिबलिंग बीएमटी बेस. जाके मेरा कॉस्ट यहाँ 9 लाख था, तो सीधा 6 लाख का वैसे फायदा बोल सकते हैं. बाकी कोई सीधा फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंट नहीं हुआ है कहीं से.
Thank you. The next question that we have is from Ranjini. How old was the patient when the BMT happened, and when did the BMT happen?
Dr. Deepa?
Yes. So Abhijit was about 6 years old when he was transplanted, and the BMT date was Abhijit ke papa.
17th March.
17th March.
17th
March.
17th March. Yeah, I'm just opening up in the system. So Abhijit was about 6 years old, and his sister was about one and a half years old. So it's he has just come for his day 184 visit. So exactly 6 months I've done last month. So this month it's 7th month of follow-up. And his
Thank you,
hemoglobin was 11.3.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Deepa. The next question that we have is, how critical was the whole process?
I think IVF, as far as IVF goes, it's a fairly standard process. So there is nothing critical in the IVF process. Regarding the bone marrow, Dr. Deepa.
Yes, it was nothing different than a regular sibling transplant. It's the same. There was a weight difference, but we manage. We have methods in which we manage if the difference between the donor and the recipient is very large. And I think there was a question about the donor. Yes, the donor is minor, but it's okay.
You're on mute, Vishaka.
Sorry. So I think that answers Shachi's question as well, because the next question was, would you be willing to share if the daughter has
She's
minor? Yes. Any other questions, attendees? The next question is, what were the symptoms the patient had in thalassemia major?
Dr. Deepa?
Yeah. So basically, as you can see, when the child has thalassemia major by about 3-4 months of age, or sometimes earlier or later, they start looking pale. Fika padne lagte hain. Parents notice the child is irritable, growth and development is not proper. So they go to the pediatrician. Pediatrician checks them. Often the liver and spleen, the size increases because the body is trying to make blood somewhere in the body. They do a blood test and they find out that the hemoglobin is 4% or 5%. The WBC is normal, platelets are normal. इससे हमें पता चलता है कि सिर्फ hemoglobin का problem है, बाकी सब ठीक है. Then we do the test. So we ask the family the history. We check the parents' CBC, and then we find out that if both the parents are major and we test the child, then the child turns out to be a thalassemia major.
Thank you, Dr. Deepa. Any more questions? You can raise your hand as well in case you want to be unmuted to ask any question.
Yeah. प्रजापति सारी छोटी छोटी सुधारा थी।
तुम्हारा बचपन प्रिजर्व है और खाने का न्यूट्रिशन भी। बजाज मिक्सर ग्राइंडर से ग्राइंड करें, बनाए रखें।
There is another question that has come up. Specifically in Abhijit's case, how many transfusions were conducted so far?
So if we go to the system,
it's actually very difficult to say exact number, but at early age we have to blood transfer after every 25 to 30 days, and as he grown up, जैसे उसकी उम्र बढ़ती है तो ट्रांसफ्यूजन का पीरियड जो होता है वो कम होता जाता है और ट्रांसफ्यूजन बढ़ते जाते हैं. तो within a year, for a year, it may be 18 to 20 times.
So as per the history in our system, he has received about 80 transfusions, I think, right? At least 80 before he went for the transplant. Yes, 70 to 80.
For 7 years.
Thank you. The next question that we have is, why do you have to wait till the test is done on parents to get the child to be diagnosed as thalassemia major?
We don't wait for the test. We test the child first. If his HB electrophoresis shows that he has thalassemia major, we test the parents so we can counsel them that this is the reason why your child has thalassemia, because both of you are carriers, so that they can be more careful when they plan the next pregnancy. And we know the etiology, that why is this child having thalassemia. We don't have to wait, and both the reports come within a day.
Any more questions, attendees?
Sorry, I just didn't want to type that. If I could just ask the question.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I've asked a spate of questions already. I just wanted to understand the science behind. We know the genetics about how the recessive and the dominant genes work. But is there a specific reason as to why the elder daughter did not get the genes, or what is the science behind why the elder daughter, uh, as well as the younger daughter has the minor gene, but the elder daughter did not have any symptoms, while Abhijit had received both minors from the parents. Is there any could you explain the scientific basis in brief to me about this?
So, Chachi, what happens is that if the parents are thalassemia minor, both of them carry a minor gene in both of them. So, what will happen is that in 25% of their children, they will be completely normal because they don't inherit any of this particular mutation. In 25%, they will inherit from both the parents and hence they will have major, and 50% will inherit from either of the parent, hence they will be minor. So typically 25% normal, 50% minor, one child major. But this does not mean that if the first child is free, then the second one has to be minor. It is out of hundreds, maybe this is the average ratio. But for an individual couple, they could have two normal child back to back, or they could also have two affected children back to back. It is only a matter of chance.
Thank you so much, sir. So then my follow-up question would be, then even if they are parents to one child, then also there is this chance ratio coming into play, right?
Yes. So actually every child, every pregnancy has to be tested.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We have Sandeep Tripathi who's raised his hand. So Sandeep, you can go ahead with your question. Sandeep, could you please unmute yourself? Okay, so we have another question in the chat box. If the older child was thalassemia free, why did you not choose the older child for bone marrow transplant?
I think you already mentioned that the older child was not a HLA match. Otherwise, that would have been the preferred choice.
Thank you. Any more questions?
You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, Sachi, you can go ahead.
Yes. So again, when you talk about HLA matching, just for an overview, I did an earlier story, so I know about this. But when you mean by HLA matching, that means that the human leukocyte antigen should be similar in the body, and that the body should not have any antibodies against it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions, attendees?
Is muted.
मेरी आवाज जा रही है क्या?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
अच्छा, हमारा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जो थैलेसीमिया को लेकर के बार बार जो है अवेयरनेस होती कि शादी के पहले लोग टेस्ट कराएं, ये लंबे समय से बातचीत चल रही है। हालांकि देखा जा रहा है अभी भी इसके प्रति बहुत जागरूकता नहीं है। इस पर क्या करना है सर?
आप ही की मदद चाहिए कि आप ये अवेयरनेस और भी स्प्रेड करो।
जी।
Yes, definitely. अभी ये सोशल मीडिया है, फेसबुक है, व्हाट्सएप है, पेपर पीपल है, the print media. I think we definitely need your help in increasing the awareness in the general population कि ये बहुत भारी बीमारी है, बहुत महंगा पड़ेगा और ये छोटे टेस्ट में प्रिवेंट हो सकता है। इसलिए आप लोगों की मदद से ही हम ये प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं।
थैंक यू।
Thank you. Any more questions? So with that, we come to the end of this briefing. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to be here. Our media outreach teams will be sharing the press release with all the attendees via mail. Should you have any further questions or clarifications, please do contact us or drop us an email. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Have a great day.
Thank you. Good wishes. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.